Yo, what is good everyone? It's Gnosis, and I'm incredibly excited to be joined in this video by the legend himself, Pilky. Now, for those unfamiliar, Pilky is arguably the greatest zero builds player in the game right now, with 8 tournament wins spanning across 3 different regions. So we talk everything from how to improve his zero builds to the proper mindset when it comes to improving at Fortnite in general, and so much more. So be sure to show Pilky some love, and let's get right into it. For anyone who's not familiar with you, what was kind of like your journey into Fortnite? How did you get started with all this, and what led you from where you started to now being, as you may call yourself, the king of no builds?
I'm not gonna lie, I used to way back in the day, I used to grind a game called Smite, and I had some of my buddies from that game, and they're like, there's like this cool ass game you should try, and it was Fortnite. I hopped on Fortnite, started teeing up, I liked it. I ended up playing like comp, like whenever it first came out, all the way up until like chapter 2 season 2. I quit. I came back chapter 3 season 1, and my whole plan was to like heal off. Heal off became more viable as the seasons went on, so that helped me get to like the Saudi land since I qualified through heal off. Now no build came around, and whenever heal off got taken out, I started teeing up in general when it comes to no build, and now it's like a living for me.
And it's crazy that you qualified for the biggest LAN tournament since World Cup, basically, as far as prize pool goes. Like, what was going through your head when you realized, like, we're actually about to hill our way into, like, the Saudi land? Like, that had to have been just an insane process to go through.
Yeah, it was interesting because, like, in the actual qualifiers, obviously people didn't want a team qualifying to, like, the biggest LAN event that did heal off because they were afraid we might do it at LAN or something like that. So there were actually like T1 pros who literally paid people to try and hunt me down and grief me and like not allow me to qual, right? So we had to worry about that. There were 3 days of like qualifiers, like for the finals, and after going into day 3 or whatever, is whenever the griefers, like the people who were paid to like stop me from qualing, started popping up. I mean, yeah, they were just like trying to grief us the whole time, and then like we killed them every single time. So it's like people hear that we healed off and they thought, oh, they just sat in zone, didn't fight anybody. But it's like, in reality, like we had to like put in the work.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that had to be a crazy feeling, like being a hill off player, knowing all these pros don't want you in the tournament. Like that's just nuts.
Yeah, we were enemy number 1. Like during the tourney, like if you like opened up the chat for the tourney, everybody was like, get rid of the heal off kids. Like, how was this allowed? And it's like, it was funny, but obviously like after it was done, it felt nice as fuck because, now I get a free trip to Saudi Arabia of all places.
Sure, and tell me about the sky base. Like, I could not believe what I was watching when you, like, that went viral on Twitter when you guys sky base. Like,
yeah.
Did you know that that was about to be a thing? Like, as you were doing it, you're like, everyone's watching this right now. And
yeah, with the sky base, it's like, we aren't, like, I'm not that good at builds. Like, I'm not terrible, but I'm not, like, anything crazy. And my teammate, he, like, never's really played build events that much. So
was he only a hill player? Like, that's what got him into the game, or?
Well, he was my IRL, and we just played the game for fun in general. But it's like,
got you.
Whenever no build came around in the first ever no build event, we did like in the Chloe Kim Cup, we did heal off, and we got like 3rd place in it. So ever since then, we were like we did heal off together.
So then when zero builds came out, like, did you know this is like your thing? Did you expect just transition as easy as you did?
So with zero builds, it's like the main reason I'm not good at comp per se is like I'm not like the craziest editor or builder. It was mainly just aim and brain, and those are like the 2 main things I have going for me. I started trying in it, and it's like a lot of people back then, they didn't see like the potential in it per se, but it's like I was like, this shit's gonna be big, so it's like I gotta get good at it fast so I can like stay ahead of the curve. And that's like exactly what happened per se. It's like in general too, it's like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a smart ass dude. Like, I've made heal off strats that like break the game and so on. Like, I mean, I've always been a smart person. It's like with no build, I think it's literally all like strategy and tactics.
What would your advice be to someone just now wanting to get into zero builds, who may be coming for builds, or even has just been a casual player who, now that there is zero build comp, wants to get more involved in that?
A lot of people, they'll play the game, but they won't actually like play to improve. Like I'll see so many people like, oh, I want to get good, or like all that. And it's like they don't actually put in the time, and I don't think it takes like much time to get good at something. It's like a lot of people will sit there and they'll like make excuses, or like whenever they do bad, they'll just throw it off on other stuff. But it's like if you own up to like your mistakes per se, I don't know, I think it's just the way you think about stuff. Like, you can't, like, I have so many people who, like, they'll die or, like, they'll do bad in eternity. They'll be like, oh, like, they'll always resort to blaming their teammates, or whenever they VOD review, they don't, like, critically think, but it's like, every time you die, like, you made a mistake somewhere. Retrospectively think about, like, every game you play and, like, what you can do to improve and so on. And you'll get better.
For comp players, you know, every day when they hop on, they may be doing PGs, edit courses, free building. But like you said, there's not really mechanics in zero build. It's aim and it's movement and smarts. So like, what's your practice routine like to stay at the level you are when it comes to zero build?
I mean, if I'm being honest, I don't do shit. Every now and then I'll play like some pubs, like right now. And it's like, even in pubs, like I'm trying to like if I die to somebody like right now, like I'll be like, oh, I could have angled better, like. In general, it's just knowing that everything is your fault. Like, if you die or you do bad, it's your fault. Like, the meta could have an effect. You could, like, not know the meta that well or something. But it's like, you can always, like, fix something and become better. So it's like, but I feel like people don't truly understand.
No, like, it sounds basic, but it's also something I feel like a lot of people in the community struggle with. Even, like, it seems like you don't go through the motions. Even playing pubs, like, you're thinking critically. If you die, you're thinking, why'd I die? Why can't I have done better? It's not just, oh, it's pubs, like, you're crazy.
Yeah.
But who cares? It's like, you're very precise, I guess, with the way you practice. What do you think the future of competitive zero build is? You think they're going to keep expanding on it? I feel like they have to at this point. Just how many people play, the viewership.
Nah, they definitely will. I'm pretty confident that no build is only going to be like getting bigger. Like I'm pretty confident there'll be like no build FNCS, and I don't think build FNCS is going anywhere. I think they'll just be 2, and I don't know if they'll make you choose, but I feel like they might, because with Epic, it seems like they like separating stuff, like builds and no builds and stuff. So they might just make a build and no build FNCS at the same time and just separate the communities, and you have to like choose one.
I feel like that'd probably be good too, right? Like, you could have a completely different map for zero build. You could have it where like the trees don't get knocked down as easy. Like, you could really optimize the map around zero build, which would be fascinating to see like how they would implement that.
Yeah, I mean, in general too, it's like for zero build, it's a lot more casual based. So I feel like their best play would be to just purely their best play would be to make it like a winner royale, like V2. So like this winter, like the Rayleigh announcement would be like, oh yeah, there's a no build winner royale, like also with a build winner royale, but like they run at the same times or something, and it's like it'll separate it, and it's like it keeps it more casual based, because no like basic player is gonna be like, oh, like no build FNCS. Like I'm excited because it's like seen as this try hard comp tourney, but it's like if there were to be a no build winner royale where it was like a big prize pool, a lot more casuals would play in general, because you know, they would actually be able to make money. So I feel like that would be better for no build in general, but we'll see. But yeah, I feel like that would be the best course of action for them, and I think that's where no build will go, but we'll see.
What's your favorite game type for competitive zero builds?
Definitely squads. I mean, at the end of the day, the more people on a team, the more possibilities and like consistency you can have. Like if I headshot snipe that dude right there in solos, he's dead. But if I headshot snipe him in squads, literally all 4 or all of his teammates can just insta-res him.
You Kovac, same loves?
No. Like, again, I see a lot of people on Twitter think I just grind the game all day. It's like I literally just get on for the tournaments and get off.
Almost seems like it's all mental.
Yeah.
Or a lot of it. I'm sure like in the early days you were aim training a lot more maybe, but it seems like at this point it's just like knowing how to play to your strengths. And
yeah, I mean, at the end of the day as well, like for no build, again, I think it's like mainly tactics and like per se pre-planning. It's like whenever I go into a tourney, it doesn't matter what tourney it is. If I have a good off spawn situation, I'm gonna do good as fuck, because like I can like make anything work off spawn wise, because like it's like an open chessboard, you know what I mean? You move your pieces, like your team, where you want to get like the most optimal fucking positions and stuff. So in general, like people always ask me like how do I improve? It's not only like being more perceptive, it's not only picking up on more stuff that's happening around you, it's also no, I'm dead. Yeah, again, I think it's like a tactics game. So it's like if you have a good off spawn situation, like if you know how to fight your POI with like any type of advantage you can get, like if you know how to like fight mid game properly, it's like there's so many like small things you can add into your playstyle, and like it's mainly just all pre-planning. I'm not gonna lie, like aim doesn't matter in no builds basically at all as long as you're smart. Like everybody has good enough aim to be able to shoot somebody in the open or shoot somebody out position. It's just you got to get them in that position.
But yeah, I appreciate you so much for taking the time. Is there anything you like to plug? Anything you have coming up? Anything you want to shout out?
Not really. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I follow Gnosis on Twitter, YouTube, all that. You know, dude's a dub. Appreciate it.
What's your YouTube though? We definitely dropping that first line in the description.
It's Pilky FN.
Yeah, I'll put 100 down right now.
It's on my screen right now, but this is it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be grinding real soon.